Welcome to Your Life Story, a space to explore the journey from survival to authenticity. I'm Sajine, and here we dive into the raw truths of breaking free from the expectations we've grown up with, rediscovering our voices, and thriving after life challenges. But this isn't just about my story. It's about life, from relationships and self-discovery to the messy, beautiful questions we all face. No topic is off limits here. So if you're ready to embrace courage, healing, and living life on your own terms, you're in the right place. Let's connect. Let's grow. Welcome to the journey. Before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. This podcast is for informational and inspirational purposes only. I'm not a licensed therapist, counselor, or medical professional, and the content shared here is based on personal experiences and insights. If you're facing significant challenges, please seek the support of a qualified professional. Remember, your journey is unique, and you deserve the care and guidance that's right for you. Welcome. I am so happy to have this opportunity to share with you. It's going to be another great podcast today. It is titled, When You Heal and Suddenly See the Dysfunction Around You. From tolerating chaos to reclaiming clarity at work and in life. You know, it's amazing what we go through at work or in everyday life. And when you start healing, you start seeing some things and then you start feeling guilty or questioning yourself. So today I would like to dive deep into the truth, healing, and transformation. Today's episode is for anyone who ever looked around their job, their church, or even their family and realized this place doesn't feel safe anymore. To me, I've been battling this because I thought maybe there was something wrong with me, and I started questioning some things, and then I started thinking and studying more. And I came to the conclusion these places don't feel safe anymore. Not because something new happened, but because you have changed. Because healing opened your eyes. Today we're talking about what happens when you start growing, which is a good thing, and suddenly the dysfunction around you becomes impossible to ignore. Whew. It's a lot. You might start asking, have I outgrown this? Which I don't think that's bad. It's the questioning. Why does this feel so fake now? We've all been there, one way or the other, but especially when you're healing. And here's a good one. Am I the problem, or am I finally seeing clearly? Let me tell you, you're not crazy. You're waking up. And I want to walk you through what that feels like, why it happens, and how to protect your peace while honoring your growth. So the early signs when you start feeling different. Let me be real. I didn't always see it. I've worked in the same place for almost quite an amount of years. At first, I thought the gossip was normal. Let's just face it. Everywhere you go, there's always going to be gossip, right? The lack of leadership, we've seen that. Just part of the system. The passive-aggressive blame games. That one's even worse. Maybe that's how adults act at work. You start thinking that. And you start normalizing that, but it isn't. I stayed quiet, tried to do good work, tried to be nice, play along, fit in. But I also started shrinking. Every time I offered an idea, it got brushed off. If I advocated for a better process or spoke up for someone, I was met with silence, or worse, subtle retaliation. People would smile to my face, then gossip when I left the room. And I still kept asking myself, is it me? Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I'm just too sensitive. Amazing how people will gaslight you in order for their agendas to go through, but not yours. But that's what trauma does. It makes you believe that you're the problem, even when everything around you is toxic. When healing opens your eyes, then I started doing my healing work. I encourage you to do healing work. I know it's tough at times because once you see the reality, you can't ever go back. But is that a bad thing? No. I believe anytime that you're healing for the embetterment of yourself, I don't think that's bad. I mean, it hurts because you wish you didn't see these things, but you have to. I believe it's important. And I'm not talking about surface level self-care. I mean real gut-wrenching, transformative healing. There's days where you're crying. There's days you question yourself. There's good moments though. The moment of awe when you finally put the pieces together like a puzzle. It's amazing. I started reconnecting with God. That is my journey. Your journey might be different, but whatever you reconnect to that helps you, I encourage you to do it because this is about your life story and how you're bettering yourself. Setting boundaries. Excellent. It's hard because people will get upset with you, especially since if you've been the goody-goody and you're always the yes person, and now you're saying no, it's like a big brick wall hitting them in the face. The people who love you will commend you. They might get hurt, but then they'll respect you. The ones that will hate you are the users and the manipulators, the toxic people. But that's okay because they will leave, hopefully. I mean, they do get really upset and retaliate. But if you stay strong, they will find something easier to manipulate. Sitting with the parts of me that were still trying to earn love and approval. I believe that is something that is inset in our minds since we were little. Even in school, you earn love and approval, right? Why else are they? I really believe that testing is great when it's done correctly. But when it is done just to see who will rise above, and it doesn't matter because the thing is if you failed at something, I believe then you should be shown what your errors were and how to correct them. They just don't move on and make you feel horrible. Reclaiming my voice. The voice is something amazing because so many people want to keep you silent. Why? Because it brings to light the injustice that the other individual has done to you or is doing to you. Letting go of the need to be liked by everyone. That one was tough because if you were not given the love, the attention, the approval as you grew up, you're going to try to find it anywhere you can. I don't care if you're young or old. You will keep seeking it until you are validated. And that's why I believe that a good, healthy family is crucial because it's what sets you out to be a wonderful human as you get older. The problem is that a lot of people are like, oh, no, don't worry about it. It's just do this, whatever I tell you. And if you don't do it, well, too bad. Then there's going to be repercussions. But nobody, and then they say, oh, well, then once you're older, you can have all the therapy you can. Oh, really? Maybe if things would have been done the right way, I wouldn't have been pushed to do this. Not that I'm saying therapy is wrong. No. I believe a lot of them there are troopers and they're there to help. What I believe is when they're there just for monetary reasons. And then something unexpected happened. I went back to work one day and it all felt off. The same people, same habits, same culture, but suddenly I saw it clearly. The gossip wasn't harmless, it was toxic. The teamwork was actually codependency. The fake positivity masked deep insecurity and control. The people getting promoted, not the most competent, just the most compliant. Or family or friends. The ones that are there to back us up. While the others have to put up with doing all the work and the cleanup. It hit me like a wave. I didn't change. I healed. And now I see what trauma once made me tolerate. Signs you've outgrown dysfunction. Here's some signs that your healing has exposed the dysfunction around you. Conversations feel shallow and performative. I am not in any way saying that I am better than anyone or that you are better than anyone to the point that you make the other person feel inferior. No, what I'm saying is when you have healed and now you see the shallowness of the conversations that you have to hear day in, day out, and it's not you anymore. I'm not saying you were shallow. Don't get me wrong. It's what you used to hear. You crave truth, but the people around you are stuck in surface level talk and groupthink. I am on a journey of seeking truth wherever I go. I've found so many truths. It hurts because I was made to feel inferior because I didn't know things. And once I knew about it, I now know it was just a way for me to keep in line. You feel energetically drained, not just tired. After meetings or gatherings, you feel emotionally exhausted because you're filtering your truth to stay safe. Or the meetings that go on and on and on and nothing ever changes. And it's just a circular conversation, just so you know where you stand. You notice patterns, blame, gaslighting, fake support. They say the right thing is in public, but act differently in private. I've seen that too many times. No matter where I've been, it's some, not all. Some are great places. The ones that were not good were always doing that. Always making themselves look good. And at the end, when you were all alone, they came at you. You're no longer willing to stay silent, even if you don't speak it out loud. Your spirit can no longer pretend that this environment is okay. I get it. It is the hardest economy out there. You just can't be willy-nilly and just leaving. Because why? You have either a family or just for yourself. You want to be able to have a shelter and food, the things that human beings need in order to survive. There's ways to maneuver things and always come up ahead and above. But if there's a point where you get that moment to leave, do it. Maybe there's new career options, businesses, anything that you want to do. and you want to move forward. You feel both scared and empowered. Scared because you know the mask is off. Empowered because your clarity is leading you to freedom. And let me add this. Sometimes the people who made you feel small start getting quiet. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because your growth reminds them of what they've avoided. Your light disrupts their comfort. I think that's something that we can agree upon. Doesn't matter wherever we've been at. It is our light that hinders people, that scares people, because light drives out darkness. What to do next? When you see the truth. Here's what I've learned to do when the fog clears and the dysfunction is undeniable. Don't gaslight yourself. It feels off. It probably is. Don't let others convince you to doubt your clarity. Document your experiences. Keep records, not out of fear, but to stay grounded in truth. But I also believe you need to have it to cover yourself. Toxic systems thrive on emotional confusion. You need clarity. Pull back your energy. You don't owe emotional labor to people who drain you. Speak when needed. Stay kind. That's the key piece. Stay kind, but keep your boundaries tight. I'm not saying keep them impossible. Tight. Start mapping your exit or your next elevation. Whether that means transitioning to a new team, a new job, or even starting something of your own, trust that your healing is leading you somewhere greater. Should be something that we should believe in. Anything that we're doing in life is we shouldn't be afraid to go to the direction where it leads us to something better. You're not being too much. You're being prepared. So now, I believe that we need to go and make sure and analyze that it's okay. There was times I cried because of the way that I was being treated. And I believe it wasn't okay. I always believed that if people saw my pain, they would feel horrible of how they treated me and come to some type of epiphany and say, oh my goodness, what am I doing? I'm hurting a human being. But what I forgot is some people, that is their intention, right? The person who is doing something wrong to you is not thinking, oh, should I not do this or do this? Why? Because then the individual would not do it because they actually have empathy and they will not come and try to hurt you. The situation is they know full well what they are doing, and they're going to come at you, and some of them even get happy when they see your tears or your anger or sadness. Why? Because they know they got under your skin. But mostly is, I don't want you to feel guilty because you're growing and you're understanding things differently. You know, there were so many individuals that I felt bad because I no longer had anything in common. What once awed me about them didn't anymore because they kept repeating it multiple times. And I thought, does this individual even have anything else better to say? They keep repeating, regurgitating. And when I asked them, do you have anything else new? They were like, no. They even felt offended that I had asked, and even at work, I mean, how many times do you have to hear the same thing where people cut people off. The worst thing is when people don't work there anymore, and then people think it's a free-for-all to talk about the other individual, about things that the other person has no chance of defending themselves. But the thing is every time you go, you hear the same thing over and over again, and you never hear something encouraging, nothing healthy, great tips, and some of them are so strategic that they will offer great tips, but embedded in between are all the same jabs and put downs, gossip. And I'm not saying that everybody needs to be perfect. I get it. It's work that you have to do in order to not fall into that trap of gossip. Always have people's backs. I believe it's important that if the other individual is not there, you should be able to defend them and say, you know what, we shouldn't be talking about this individual unless they're in the room and they can defend themselves. The other part is you should be able to speak your truth without being retaliated on or hurt. Why? Because if you're a healthy human being, you'd be better. But I am truly a big believer that not many people want to get better. Some don't know yet, but others just don't want it because it suits them. Like I've heard, nobody will change if it is still benefiting them. The moment it doesn't benefit them, then they will look for ways either to get worse and it benefits them, or they're going to look for better. But most people that are doing this and are toxic are not going to look for something better. Why? Because that means they would have to work everything that they ever did to hurt someone or themselves or others, and they don't want to do the work. I encourage you, though, I think it's good, little by little, to start doing the work. I feel like it's like when you're running. You start out slow, it still kills, it hurts. But if you keep going little by little, pushing further, doing everything you need to do, eating well, other exercises, breathing exercises, now you're running well. It's the same thing with life. You got to start out small and keep moving forward. There's good days and there's bad days, but keep moving forward because I want to encourage you. If you feel alone right now, if you're waking up in a world that feels foreign, if you're seeing people differently and feeling disconnected from places you once called home, that's not failure, that's transformation. You're shedding old skin, and not everyone will join you on the next part of your journey, and that's okay. Here's your permission to trust your intuition, to walk away from emotional chaos, to hold your peace sacred, and to know you are not the problem. You're just no longer a match for environments built on dysfunction. I think it's important that we get to see this because the thing is the guilt that comes along, but also the loneliness. But let's be real. You're lonely there because it doesn't resonate with you anymore. It's just people around you, and now you know the pain they cause, the hurt. And let me believe you, if they're gossiping about others, once you leave, they're going to be gossiping about you. It's time to find new environments, friends, people. And yeah, it can be lonely, especially if you spent multiple years there. But I want you to know that you can do this. I want you to know that. It's important that you get to do things in life because I believe we need to move forward and have that peace. We'll get there. All of us together will get there. It takes time, but you will make it. And I want you to know you're not alone. There's so many of us out here that are finally waking up to the truth, and we want to move forward, And sometimes we're always waiting for permission, and we just need to learn to start trusting our intuition and moving forward. I believe it's important. We will move out of these dysfunctional environments. It won't be fast, but it'll be worth it. I really believe that. I think it's beautiful that we get to do that. Thank you for tuning in to Your Life Story. If this spoke to you, send it to someone who's been second-guessing their gut. And remember, you are worthy of spaces that honor your growth, your empathy, and your truth. I'll see you next time. Keep healing, keep rising. You're not too much. You're just finally becoming you. I always welcome you back to next week's podcast. It's important that you be here with me and share everything and get to listen to something that might resonate with you. Feel free to share it with anybody. Contact me. Go to my Instagram. Go to my YouTube. It's wonderful. Thank you so much.